this is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day and of the week here. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. We'll take a look at the indexes, which are all green right now. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the Baker Hughes rig count. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have the old Bitcoin. Okay, now we had a really good run yesterday about the OT man said that they could put Bitcoin like in a 401k plan. So it ran right on up here nicely. And then today we made a nice higher high of 118,405. Yesterday's high 118,240. But then you notice that it just kind of couldn't hold it. So we have kind of like an indecision candle. But you see when it sold down, where did it go? Right into that 8-day. Okay, so this is why you trade the charts. Now, on the downside, you want to watch that 116, 199. That's the 8-day. We lose that, we'll come right to the bottom. You're looking at 114, 685. It'll come to the bottom there. 114, 300 level. Then we'll come to the bottom of that candle, 13,440. And we have 13,445. And then we'll be looking right there for that 50-day at 111, 628 level. I always like to show you where it could possibly go. But again, we have to lose that 8-day and all these support levels in order to get there. Now, upside, very easy. 21-day. 117,732. Okay, we get above that, we'll go look at today's high. Okay, 118,405 level. All right, so then what we'll do is we'll pop right up to the top of this candle. You're looking at 119,785. We got 124.15, and then we have that 121,255 level. Crack above that, you got 123,615. That is going to be your recent high, your all-time high. Then we have to see what the reaction is once, if it gets there, okay? The reaction is blast through and go to that 125,500, or does it just double top situation and come right down sideways action, okay? So right now, we're just trading between this 21-day, very, very nicely, and that 8-day at 116, 189 level. Now, RSI, well, we're sitting here 54. That could go either way. The green is below your red, but again, that can just curl right back up here, and we can take it higher. Bottom line, chart is very, very bullish. On the old Bitcoin, it's going to be a matter of time before we're going to be testing at 123,615. Now you can see the weekly. Look how nice this is. Held that 50-day the whole way. She's a beaut, Clark. Now she's holding that 8-day. I said by Friday we have to hold that 8-day. That's going to be very, very key. That is that 113,454. Now, if we lose that, you got rate 112,345, 110, 150. And then we have 110, 108, 960. And then we come down to your 8-day at 102, 620. But there's a lot of demand. Anytime this pulls down, looks like it wants to come right back up. And I say there's always news. There's always the news that comes into the situation. But again, now we're back above that 8-day, which is always good. We just have to get and close above that 21-day. Not just pop and drop like that. We have to close above it. So don't have a little patience. Okay, that's the key, a little patience. Now, let's take a look here at gold and at silver. Okay, here we have gold and silver. Now you can see here how gold had a really, really nice move today. Got high as 35.34 on putting tariffs on gold. Okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But again, they retracted, they tried to explain it, and it looks like gold came right on off here. Okay, so right now you're sitting at 34.61. This is the level that we need to maintain is 34.51. You can see here how we came right on down. You had a 34.45 level, but right here is what we may have to maintain on a closing basis, and we're doing it. We lose it, you're going to go to that 34.45, and it will come down to the bottom, 34.30. Then we have your 8-day at 34.15, your 21-day at, let's see here, at 33.85, and then we have your 50-day at 33.70. Right now, as I say, I've been telling you for weeks, this is a very, very bullish chart. Any kind of a news could send that bad boy higher. But right now, we have this topping tail, so be very, very careful. I'm going to show you why. Right here, see what we got? Topping tail, what happened? Sold off. Topping tail, be very, very careful. Okay, that's what we had on Bitcoin. Got to be very, very careful. That could come right on off. Okay, now what we're looking for is obviously back on the upside. Is we're looking for the top of that candle, looking at that 34.83 level, and then we're going to be looking for next is going to be this top of that topping tail at that 35.09, and then we have your retest at 35.34. You crack above it, 35.50. You work your way to 3600 and even 3620 on that run. That could be very, very easy. Okay, now there's some prediction. It could go all the way to 6,000. Very, very possibly could. The key is one level at a time. All right, that's the key. So I was going to jump into GLD, and then I seen this pullback, and then I see him trying to explain the tariffs on gold, and now she has a topping tail, so I'm very, very careful. I have no trade going. So bottom line, Watch that 35.34. That's the key on the breakout. And then we watch that 8-day, the 21-day, and that 50-day on the downside. RSI, you're only sitting at 59. Plenty of room to go either way. Green over your red, which shows that there's good positive momentum, which we obviously have. But when you look at the overall chart, this is a very, very bullish chart. Now, silver. Well, let's see silver. Okay, came right on down. We had the negative divergence. Okay, sold down. Held the 50-day, very nice. Rally ran up, got above that a 21-day. And so far, we have this indecision candle, which basically is above the 21-day, which is very nice. So downside, you're going to watch that 38.31. Then watch today's low, 38.18. The bottom of that candle, 37.93. The 8-day, 37.66. We lose that. Bottom of that candle, 37.32. And then we have your 50-day sitting at 37.03. Okay? So what we're watching Sunday is the high, the low of this candle. 38.87 high, 38.18. And then we want to watch that close at 38.49. Okay? So all the information is right there. So what you want to do is make sure that you watch that candle. But now, again, if we can start getting above this 37.87 level. So all I say, look to the left. What do you have? 37.82. So you came within 5 cents. Okay, how sweet is that? Now your next level right there, 39.02, and then we have 39.52, 39.66, 39.91. You crack above it, you got 40, 42, 45. That's the direction you'll be taking. However, we have to see if it gets up here, what the reaction is. Does it blast through? Or does it, pop up here like we had a little situation and it come right on down? So always watch the reaction. You get a good close above that 39.91, then you can take yourself a nice long. Okay, RSI 57. It's not overbought or oversold. The green here is below your end, but that could curl up. Looks like a very, very nice chart going here. And if you look at the overall on the silver, very, very nice bullish chart. Holding that 50-day. Always look at the 8-day, you lose that. You look to the 21-day, you lose that. You look to the old catch-all, 50-day, okay? Catch-all, as long as we're above that 8-day. Now we are here above the 8-day, and we're above the 21-day. So let's just see how this all shakes out starting Sunday night. Okay, let's take a look at crude oil and natural gas. All right, here we have crude oil. Here we have little natty gas. Okay, so crude oil put in another low today. Okay, all the way down, 62.77 level. So what I was saying is you just go right to the left of the chart here. What do we have? We got 62.82. We had 62.77. Okay, so that was your support level. Popped right up off of that. 62.50 is next. We come down to below that, 62.17. Then we start working ourselves right into all these levels here. 61.72. We have 61.06, and then we come all the way down here to 59.74 level. Now, look at here. Your 8-day crossed over, your 21-day, and your 50-day is going to provide very, very strong resistance if it gets above that 100-day into that situation. All right? So now you can see where it came down, but where did it close? Well, we have an indecision candle. It closed back above that 63.64, but we're below this 64 mark, okay? That's very, very key. Okay, so we're below that. Now, on the upside, if you can rally up, this is going to be your target. It's going to be right there. It's going to be that 64.96. That's your 100-day. We get above that level, we can come to the bottom of this candle, 65.46, and then we'll be looking for that 8-day, okay, at 66.27. Look, that 21-day at 66.52, and then we have that 50-day right above it at 66.65. Now, Sunday night when this futures open, this will not be here. This will be lower, okay? So always remember that. As that price goes below that, just like as the price goes above it, look how nice that held the rally on up. But when it goes below it, boom, she's going to be very, very strong, just like we had here and just like we had here, okay, on the old Natgas. So, again, watch this level, 63.64. Watch today's low. That's going to be very, very key, 62.77. Upside, that 100-day is everything. We rally above that, and we have your 8, 21, 50-day. Get through that. You have your 200-day and then possible 70.51. But you're going to need a catalyst to get this higher. There's no question about it. Now, RSI, this is not overbought or oversold. That could go lower. The green below your red. This is just looking ugly, okay? There's nothing bullish about this unless you get some kind of a reaction to take it higher. Okay, Natty Gas, she couldn't hold the 8-day. Look at that, okay? So, yesterday we had an indecision candle. Okay, didn't know what the hell to do. So when you have a top, a bottom, and you have that sideways indecision, today we lost the 8-day, and now we came right on down. So on downside, you want to watch that 2.96 level. Then we come down there, you have 2.94, we have 2.92, and then we'll come down to the bottom of that candle at 2.89. Okay, so just that simple. We're looking for the retest of 289 to see what the reaction is. We lose that 2.89, then you're going to go right to the bottom there at that 2.85. Okay, just that simple. Now, on the upside, well, you got to get back above the 8-day. Okay, 3.04. The next level will be today's high, 310. We have 314, and then we have 320. Above that, we have 326, 333, and then we have your 50-day, 200-day, and your 100-day. Right now, the price is below all your simple moving averages. Nothing bullish about this chart. See, down, descending chart. See how that is? KOLD, very, very good trading in the KOLD today. Now, I usually trade 5,000 shares, but on the Fridays, I cut that down to 3,000 today. I was going to do 2,500, but I said it's a really, really good trade. And I say once we lost that 8-day, I said, boom, I'm in, and I'm going to see where this actually shakes out. Now I have no position on there, and I have a short position still going on the crude oil. Okay, that's where I stand. All right, let's take a look here now at the old indexes. Okay, here we have the indexes. All right, now we have Dow, you got the old S&P, and we have the old Nasdaq. Okay, so we can see here we had negative divergence going on here. High, higher high, high, lower high. Negative divergence, sold right on down. Now we're kind of getting back above this 8 SMA here. Okay, so you're sitting at 44,106. That's your downside. Then we want to watch yesterday's low, that 43,799, and then your 50-day. And then we had the retest there at that 43,340. Your 200-day, 100-day, we have a gap in the fill. All right, so the key is you have to get back above that 21-day in order to retest this level, 44,885 and 45,016. Okay, that's it. But you have to get above and close it back above this 21 days. So let's just see how this all finishes out today, because just we still got some time, and it might not just get right back up there. We got to see how that shakes out. Now the S&P, we sold right on off here, and we're holding that key 8-day and 21-day. So downside, you want to watch 63.30. You want to watch 63.22. That's going to be very key. We lose that, you got 62.89. You have 62.71, and then we have the retest on the price channel at 62.01, and then we have your 50-day gap, fill, 200-day, and we have that 100-day. Now, it's not giving up the ghost here. It just doesn't want to see, doesn't want to like sell off. However, always watch this. This is very, very key. A lot of times when you get up to these points and you have that sell down, it wants to go there and retest it. Now, if you can't close back above that 64.27, then you're going to come down and it's going to sell off, and it's going to sell off hard. However, if you can close above that 64.27, well, then we're going to go higher. You could even go towards that 6,500 mark. Okay, very, very easy. Okay, so always remember, this is kind of like a retest. This is a retest, and obviously the Nasdaq is a retest. Okay, let's take a look at the old Nasdaq here. Now, we are almost at that retest level. Okay, so you're at that 21,457. We need 21,464. Okay, so this is where we're going to be going there today. So we need to retest, okay, this level. Now, again, if we can crack through that, well, hell, we can go at 22,000. That's the key. But as it falls down and then it rallies back up, you got to see what happens when it does the retest. Now, if it can break through that, well, then this was a nothing burger, and then she can go higher. The same way with this, the same way with this. So if we go up and retest these levels, okay, and we break through them, well, then this market is going to go higher. Okay, it's just that simple. So again, I keep saying this every week, every day, I should say. These are trading markets. Okay, trading markets. These are not buy and hold kind of a situation. Now, the market today I thought was fantastic. Nvidia, really good trading. TQQ, really good trading. Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, a lot of really, really good trading, okay? And that's the key word, is trading. Trading. Let's just see how this all shakes out. Take the money, put it in your pocket, okay? Go into the weekend fresh, come out Monday. You don't want to revenge trade. That's not a good look for you, okay? So let's just see what happens when we hit that 64.27. If we hit it, does it break through? Same way here. Do we break through? And do we break through? Well, then we're going to go higher. It's just that simple. If not, we're going to hit that and we're going to come right on down. Now we got to an overbought condition there. We had an overbought condition there. Sold right off here. But what I don't like here is the rally up. You could have a possible negative divergence. Okay, so always watch that RSI. Very, very key. But again, traders market. awesome, awesome market since the T-Man's been in business. You know what I'm saying? This is January. I mean, this is just like, wow, you know. Again, it's just a market that won't quit, but eventually it's going to quit. Okay, so always remember that. Now we're coming up to that time of that seasonality, about 6 good weeks there. Into August, September, October, got to be very, very careful. Okay, so use stops. Don't be afraid. Use stops. You don't need to buy the bottom. You need to sell the top. You just need to make that consistent money. Start on Monday. By the time you get to Friday, you're going to say, holy shnikes, look at all the money I got. And I got it in my pocket. It's not on paper. Okay, that's the key. Now, everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you Sunday night, and we'll take a look at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, take a look at the NQ, and whatever else we could throw in there, okay? And then we'll come out swinging on Monday and have a really good week. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.